My name's Miles, Daniel Miles, and this is a dunking of The Programme. Okay, so The Programme is a biographical film about Lance Armstrong, the first person to win the Tour de France 7 times, who then revealed he was a massive drugs cheat, and it's all gone downhill since there. And that's all the information I gleaned from the film. This film has the same issue as almost every single biographical film I review. We are plonked straight into the middle of the most interesting part of the person's life, which is fine, except I normally like about 5 minutes to tell me who this person is, where they've come from, what is the Tour de France, how do you win it, how many stages are in it, and what was the state of world cycling at the time. Was it a small thing known mostly in Europe? Was it a worldwide thing? I don't know. I still don't know. I would like these things explained to me in the first 5 to 10 minutes. In fact, that's an issue with the film as a whole. It's too short and it doesn't explain things. Chris O'Dowd, playing a serious role for the second time in his career, is a journalist dedicated to bring down Lance Armstrong. Why? Where does this journalist come from? What does he know? How does he do this? People just ring him up out of the blue to confess their part in Armstrong's crimes, and to be honest, Chris O'Dowd's role feels more like a cameo, out of like 10 to 15 minutes dedicated to explaining him and watching him actually do some journalism, as opposed to popping up every 20 minutes just to remind us he's still in the film. Ben Armstrong's method acting has provoked some absolutely pointless controversy. This film has very few scenes actually set on bikes, and none that could not have been improved by actually using real footage, sped up footage, or just having them cycling along. There is no need for the method acting that Ben Foster did, and I really wish he had done it, as it's probably cost his chance of winning something, as his acting is absolutely sublime in this film. You believe he is Lance Armstrong, a man who believes that whatever he does is justified because he does it to win. It's an amazing performance, and he wastes it because he took these performance-enhancing drugs. The film feels rushed. As with all biographical films, characters pop in and out for no apparent reason. Armstrong's wife literally gets about 10 seconds and 8 words of dialogue before being forgotten about completely, as she's so irrelevant to the film. If she's that irrelevant to the film, don't include her in the first place. The camera work is fine, the music is fine, it's a powerhouse work by Ben Foster. It's really good as a biographical film, but you need prior knowledge going in for a little bit of the biography of Lance Armstrong, the history of the Tour de France, not to mention the state of world cycling. And once you've done your homework, you're going to have a much better experience than I did. Now, I still really enjoyed this film, and I had a really good time with it. I just feel that it could have spent 5 to 10 minutes explaining itself at the start, a little bit more of an airplug at the end, and about 10 to 15 minutes explaining Chris O'Dowd. Now, this film is only 103 minutes, and for such a massive scandal, it could definitely have been about 15 to 20 minutes longer. For a biography like this, I was expecting about 2 hours 15 minutes, and for it to clock in at a mere 103, I feel means that they cut quite a lot out. Now, I do understand that cycling's a niche sport, and therefore it might not have got the budget that it wanted or needed in order to expand, but I do feel there's enough enthusiasm in the world for this film to have got a bigger budget, and therefore had a bigger runtime. I still recommend it. This is still a see it film. I just wish that it had taken its time a little bit more, got a bit more under the skin of both characters. The film is supposed to be adversarial, you know, the journalist versus the athlete and the consequences of this battle. But again, Chris O'Dowd, he's basically a cameo role. Throw him away, he's in it for maybe 15 minutes. It's all about Ben Foster, and even so, we still don't really get under the skin of Lance Armstrong. Nor do we really see the cost that this decision has on him, as the film abruptly cuts to the end and just basically has a few slides. I wanted more of after the impact. I hope there'll be another film in a few years, The Programme Reloaded or Programme 2, Programme Harder, that's going to explain what happened after the end of the programme, because I would like to see a continuation of this story. I'm Daniel, this is Donkey. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.